Hello to all of my beautiful and diverse friends out in YouTube land, and welcome back to the sitting room of Tufted Owl Cottage. I am Mama Violet, and today's very special session is calling in a goddess named Calypso. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with Calypso. However, she's not exactly how she was portrayed on Pirates of the Caribbean. Calypso was actually a Greek goddess of the sea, Titan's daughter, and she was in love with a god named Odyssey. Calypso held Odyssey prisoner against his will for 7 years on her island. And although she tried and tried to convince him that her love was enough, and even offered him immortality, it still was not enough to hold him and keep him from being homesick. So ultimately, Calypso lost Odyssey, but remained goddess of the sea. And although part of Calypso's story seems sad, she was still very, very powerful. And remained for many years, and still does, in control of the oceans and seas all across Earth, ruling the water and the waves for Mother Gaia. Now this evening, I'd like to call in Calypso simply to wash away stress from pressure points from head to toe, calling in the power of the waves, the power of the whitecaps, the power of the undertows to swoosh over those pressure points from your head to your feet and wash the tension away. I am going to light a candle this evening, and while we go from pressure point to pressure point, I would like you to set any intention you wish. That can be simply to wash away the stress of the day or trauma. It can be for rest and relaxation, simply because you have a bit of time to do so. Whatever you may wish, lucid dreaming, whatever you wish to wash away, wash away, wash away. I invite you to do so and set the intention that serves you. So we have a Bahama Breeze candle, of course, and the spirit of Calypso herself. Of course, Calypso rules many oceans and many seas, but for our candle this evening, we're going with a Caribbean theme. And we are going to light our candle. And you may set your intention exactly as you wish, or set no intention at all. I want you to do what serves your greatest good. So, calling in Calypso, calling in Calypso, calling in the power of Calypso herself. Okay. We're going to place our candle right next to us, very gently. And I have also been called to use quite a few tools this evening. When I opened my box, I was called to get out quite a few. So we have lots of friends with us here this evening. Lots of tools. So throughout this session, as we go from pressure point to pressure point, in between, I will go ahead and use the tools as we are called to do. So first, as we usually do, I hope that you have found a comfortable and cozy surface to lie upon or sit upon. And we're going to take a few breaths, deep or shallow, can be either one, just to allow tension to release from our body. Okay. So we're going to take our first breath, however you're comfortable. Breathe in, breathing in the winds of the ocean breeze, and breathe out. Good. Holding steady, and we're going to breathe in again, the winds of the ocean sunsets, and breathe out the tension in the storms. And one more time, we're going to breathe in the freshness of the salt water air. And breathe out the heat, humidity, and discomfort. Very good. Okay, my friend. We are going to start at the top of your head. Just focusing on the crown of your head and your scalp. We're going to massage that pressure point and call in the gentle lapping of the ocean waters. Releasing the tension from the pressure point at the top of your head. you press on the top of your head and release, oftentimes you'll feel this fizzy tingle. That's a good way to release the pressure from the top of your head. Good. Moving down just a bit, we're coming to your temples. Just rubbing your temples. I want you to just feel the swoosh of the ocean waves just washing away tension in the pressure points of your temples. Shoo. 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 Very good. Paying attention to your breathing in the background, just noticing it as a rhythm like the waves lapping against the shore. Good. Moving down just a bit to your jaw. Right around your jawline, your jawbone, and that alveolar nerve bundle. Just massaging that. Listening to the trickling of water, listening to the summer breeze over the ocean waves. And we're washing, washing that tension away. Good. We are going to bring in our aquamarine now before we travel any further. Isn't she beautiful? Freshly charged and at your service. And we're going to take our little paintbrush. And we're going to paint away the tension in that jawline with the colors of the Caribbean oceans. And don't worry, for those of you that are lovers of more northern regions like the northern Atlantic, we will definitely get to the cool waters of the north as well. Just painting away. Painting away with the colors of Calypso. Good. Just kind of gently wiggling your jaw, feeling that tension gone, and feeling the looseness in that pressure point. Excellent. Okay. Moving on, we're going to go to the base of the skull, on the top of the spine, right around back of you, right around here. And we're just going to gently pull out the pressure from that point. Just gently. Good. Do you feel that? Feel the ocean waters gently trickling down, releasing the base of your skull, just relaxing your neck, letting your neck go limp. Good. Very good. Releasing the pressure points from the base of your neck to the top of your head. Just feeling your whole head and neck loosen. Good. Now we're going to move to the pressure points in your inner shoulders. You can feel your clavicle, and there's a dip right behind your clavicle or your collarbone. Right here. Right here. It's that muscle right on your shoulder. That pressure point. This time we're going to call in the sands of Calypso's oceans. If you've ever been to the beach, you know what it feels like to just wiggle your toes into cool, fluid sand. Yeah. We're going to call on the sands to exfoliate the pressure from these points in your shoulders. Just massaging and exfoliating away. Pulling out the excess grains of sand. And calling in our sandstone. I have a tiny little brush. We're going to call in the power of sandstone. And once again, paint it across your pressure points and your shoulders. Both sides. Feeling that cool, fluid sand just run over your shoulders, falling off gently. And release, release, release. Good. We're going to move down a little bit more to your outer shoulders, rotator cuff, your upper shoulder muscles. And again, we're just going to massage those shoulders. Often there is a lot of tension held in the outer shoulders and the muscles of such. So I'm just going to call in a very gentle element, which is the whitecaps. The waves of the northern Atlantic, the very cool foam that you see form on the waves. We're going to bring in some of that foam and just let it fizz, fizz, fizz into those shoulder muscles. Just feeling each little bubble pop, 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 pop. Like Calypso's soapy bubbles. Popping the bubbles of the whitecaps. And as each bubble pops, the pressure of your shoulders releases just a little bit more. Pop, 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 pop. Good. Bring in some white quartz. Represent those white caps. We're going to run it down your shoulders, gently but deeply, into your triceps and biceps, and just let you feel that reverberation of relief from that pressure point. Good, very good. Releasing, relaxing down your arms, feeling the cool white caps of the Atlantic in every single fiber of your arm muscles. Moving down just a bit to your torso, we're actually going to go to the pressure points chest and upper stomach. 2 pressure points where we often feel indigestion, heart palpitations, sometimes muscle cramping around the sternum, rib cage. We're going to call in the cool waters of the North Pacific. This is often a very warm center with a lot of blood flow, which is good, but we're going to cool it down just a little bit here. Cooling, 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 and washing away the tension of these pressure points Just loosen up and relax. And as you do, you feel your heart rhythm slow and become steady. Good. We're going to move down again. This time we're going down the spine and finding the pressure point right in the middle of your lower back. And this pressure point is actually right above your tailbone, about four fingers above your tailbone. We're going to call in the waters of the Irish Sea. Calm yet dancing. Just trickling around that that pressure point. Not PowerPoint. Too much schoolwork. Just bouncing very, very lightly, lapping waves around the pressure point of your lower back. And releasing the tension. You are very good at this. And for this, since we are in the Irish Sea, I'm being called to bring in a raw green calcite. I'm going to use the healing power of the calcite. It's going to actually go all the way up and all the way down the spine. And a pleasant reverberation of relaxation. Reverberation of relaxation. Okay, so just going to paint that up and down the spine as that pressure point releases all it is held onto. Up and down. Release and relax. Good. Okay. Now we are going to move down to the hip flexors. It's where your pelvic bone meets your femur, your leg bone. And feeling those. We're once again going to bring in sands, but we're going to bring in the sands on the oceans of Western Africa. And the sands of the Nile that flow and contain particles of wild history and yet settle so gently. I'm going to bring those sands through your hip flexors like an hourglass. Just bringing them down each side. And feel that sand, that historic sand that holds so much information, just trickling down through your hip flexors like an hourglass. Good. We're going to bring in our little friend for a moment. Our little sea turtle. Just ever so gently break up any residual tension. Going down to your left hip flexor, across to your right hip flexor, just going across quietly and gently. Now feeling your head to your hips, just relax. Pressure from every point up until the hips has been released. Good. We're going to move down now to right behind your knees. We're getting into the point behind the kneecap, behind the meniscus. Just hitting that muscle and cartilage area right behind the knee. Just gently massaging and releasing. Bring in our Reiki stones on both sides. We're going to use these as massage beads. On your right knee and your left knee, as you just feel yourself collapse. Have you ever had someone walk up behind you when your legs are locked and they just bump the back of your knees and you go, phew. My mom used to do that to me when I was a kid. It was so funny. Well, I didn't think so then, but I do now. It's a pretty strong pressure point behind the knees. We're going to use this lava rock. Good. Now we are going to move down to the arches of your feet. There are very, very strong pressure points in the arches of your feet. And this is whether you have arches or flat feet, doesn't matter. We're just getting into the arch there, and we're actually going to call in the really strong, deep blue waters of the Atlantic. This is going to be a release and a grounding. Kitty's eating her dinner. Do you hear her tiny crunches? Releasing and grounding. And I believe we're going to call in lapis lazuli for this final pressure point here. we have our beautiful lapis lazuli. She's a very sweet little stone. And we're just going to place that into your right arch. And your left arch. Very good. And release, release, release. Excellent, my friend. I hope your body is feeling like Jello. And I hope those pressure points are feeling cleansed and released. Going to bring forth the tiger's eye pyramid, just for a little extra cleansing and protection through every pressure point, through every joint, through every muscle fiber, every bit of cartilage, beautiful bones that hold your body. Good. Okay. To cap off our session, we're going to go ahead and light incense. Just to cover you in a protective smoke. Gonna get our little tray. Don't want any ashes on the mic. Just covering you, the top of your head, down the sides, down your right arm, down your left arm, down your front to your feet, and down the back of you to your calves and feet. Good. Okay. I hope this session has helped you release a lot of tension. There's so many pressure points in the body, and sometimes it helps to just take a moment and release pressure from each one. In fact, there's even more than we hit today. So I hope this helps you sleep ever so sweetly, or dream, or just enjoy your time. And if you're simply here for the tingles, I welcome that as well. So, I will see you all again very soon, my friends. I'm trying to make more videos and put out a lot more content. So, if you are still awake, or if you watch this video again, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It truly helps my channel. Until I see you again, my sweet friend. Namaste, love. Sleep sweet.